Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Golden Aura Podcast. I'm your host, Dizea Love. And y'all, today, this is kind of impromptu. I told myself that I wanted to put out a video today. I wasn't 100% sure what I wanted to talk about, but God has been just putting it on me to just go with the floor, but go with the flow more, go with the flow a lot more. Like I said in the first episode, that I consider myself a go with the flow Joe, but God wants me to surrender to his flow a lot more. And I've been doing my best with that. The answers are not always going to come instantaneously. And it does not mean that you're doing anything wrong just because they don't come instantaneously. Now, our background is a little bit different today, y'all, and it's kind of ironic because, like I said, before I even started to film, I was getting a little tired. I was a little unsure. I was like, I don't know, but I was like, we're going to see, because something is telling me that I'm going to put out a video today. I want to, but it's just like I'm just not feeling it. I had cooked, I cleaned up, everything. It's the end of the night, and I'm like, I don't feel like it. Now, I give myself a little break for a little while. I've been on a hiatus from my phone. Not a hiatus. I don't know if that's the right word, but I've been more intentional about not being on my phone as much. And so I sit down and I'm on my phone, and it just comes to me what I need to talk about tonight. So, what I wanted to talk about is shining your light. That's what I created this whole podcast for. That has been the highlight topic in my life amongst a lot of other subtitle topics, but the header topic that God has put at the forefront that shaped this everything. How I moved, how I thought, literally, it aligns with shine your light. And so, y'all, I got this new equipment. Y'all seen the first episode where, I had the light. Y'all can still see a little bit right there. If I move to sight, still a little bit right there. But, I have this light at the top where, obviously it makes it a little bit brighter so you can see a lot more. Well, I ain't been doing my part with charging this stuff. Like, even this microphone is on its last leg. I'm gonna have to charge all of this stuff up. But I thought it was ironic because I took a shower, and that's really where God put it on me. He put it on me a little bit while I was on my phone here, sitting on the couch, and the rest of it he gave to me while I was in the shower. And this, before, like, setting everything up, just reconfirmed to me, because the light, like, it went out. You know what I mean? Now, I want to start off by saying that, given a little bit of my experience and what really just solidified it for me. So, we just moved into this new house a couple months ago. Nearly, it's going, I want to say about 6-7 months. And, my husband, he buys a lot of the things for this house. Thank God. I got a very supportive and provider spirit man who takes care of everything for real. So it's been taking time to get our furniture. Now, our curtains and stuff, we just not getting curtains up, and it was okay, but I will not lie, at nighttime, it was cool in the daytime, but at nighttime, I really felt that we don't have no curtains. Not just because, oh, okay, people can see in here, but because I could see outside and it was dark, and it's a little scary. You know what I mean? And that kept coming to me literally every time I would go to a window, whether that be downstairs or upstairs. And I look outside, especially at night, because I tend to be up at night a lot because, just cleaning up, doing my rounds or whatever, making sure that the house is straight. before I go to bed, I will have to look out the window at some point. And every single time I feel a twinge of something, even though I've been working on being a lot more fearless, even though I've been working on myself, and I know that there's nothing to fear because I have God and I have a big spiritual team behind me, naturally protected all of these things. Why does that feeling still come to me? Right? It's because I'm human. It's because I'm human, and in the daytime everything seems good. You get, it's a sense of hope. The sun is like a sense of hope. It brings about clarity. You know what I mean? And this is not supposed to be a preaching, a sermon, or nothing like that, but it's just really a real talk. And so essentially, y'all, I would look out the window and I would get a tinge of fear. If I looked out the window and wasn't no light, I was up so late and wasn't nobody had no lights on in their house, I'd be like, dang, I'm the only one up right now. And it's a little scary. You the only one up with your light on in the house. You is the only one up shining your light. Everything else is dark around you. But I notice that when I look out those same windows and I see somebody else, it could be a light so far. It could be a street light. It could be somebody else in another house got their TV on. It could be somebody got their backyard lights on. You know how much hope that gave me? It made me feel better. And at the time, it was nothing to fear. So I thought about that many of times. Sometimes I burst it off, because you don't want to put too much thought into things. And other times, as of recently, I've been thinking about them more. Now, a lot of times when we are around people, we with our tribe, people that we feel like sees our light and we see their light, it feels amazing. Life feels good. It feels amazing to be around them. But when we come back into our solitude alone, right? It's almost like the light goes off. And I know this to be true because it is how I felt for a long period of time. I'm like, dang, I could be this big outgoing person when I'm around other people. People love to be around me. People will get a burst of energy just being around me, and that's a whole nother story. It's called energy siphoning, which is okay as long as there is an exchange of energy, which is why you need a tribe, people who get you, who are not just stealing your light from you, but actually, you know what I mean, giving to receive type of deal. um when you get by yourself, it's like you don't know yourself enough to recognize your own light. Your light doesn't really ever go out. Your light doesn't go out. Your light never should go out. And that's the balance of being human. Just learning what the perfect ratio that you need in your life so that your light never goes out. Some people get that ratio so good that even long after they gone, they light still ain't went out. Long after their physical body has left this place, they light still has not gone out. So this is not gonna be a long podcast talk, y'all. I really, like I said, this was really impromptu. And the message is kind of all over the place. I just stuttered. I did this. I did that. Y'all, it is a little all over the place. But I hope if you stuck it out this far that you get the message. Shine your light. Do not be afraid of yourself. Sometimes when we are alone with ourselves, it's almost like and you don't know who you are, you know what I mean? It's almost like you're just walking in the dark and you're just waiting on a light to be on. You walking in the dark, you trust in God. And sometimes that's what it feels like a lot of life is. You walking, you trust in God. You are a lighthouse to somebody else. But sometimes when you are not aware of your own light, right? Because when you are aware of your own light, you can see a little piece in front of you. The rest of it is dark. You know, you can at least see your feet so you won't trip up. But when you are not aware of your own light, it's like walking in complete darkness. You know what I mean? And you're just waiting on somebody else to have their light on. You know what I mean? And if you are in tune enough to not siphon from them and actually get better, you know what I mean, use their light as a way to gain your own faith, to get your own light to be on, you know what I mean. I really hope that this is not sounding all conjumbled up, y'all. I really hope that's not sounding all conjumbled up, but this is why it's so important. It is so very important to know who you are, to take the time to know who you are, to take the time to unlearn the things that people have told you about yourself that you don't resonate with, family, friends, how the world makes you feel about yourself, what the world tells you to feel, what the world tells you to be. This is your life, and you have to be happy with your life. You have to be happy with your life. You have to be happy with yourself, right? This is where I kind of like disagree with a lot of religion when they say, well, as long as you got God, it'll be fine. That is only a part of the truth, right? If you don't feel good about yourself, it will make it very hard to go the distance. It will make it very hard to finish doing the assignment that God called you to do if you don't like yourself. If you feel like you gotta put on a mask to be okay, if you feel like you gotta uh put on this, down the third to fit in with these people, and then you get back home and you don't know who it is that you looking at in the mirror, you feel empty inside, you gotta think it's time to think about that. It is. And we have to start really taking a deep look in the mirror and saying, hey, do I like this? Does this really make my soul shine? Does this really make me feel good? Because if it doesn't, you can literally change it. All you have to do is make a decision. I've been really learning, and it's so deeply understanding, not even understanding so hard that literally life is a series of choices. It's a series of decisions. And all your decisions thus far has led you to this very moment right here. Your decisions, right? Now, people will tell you, no, sometimes I was for it's all of them. You make a decision. And you can make those decisions out of fear. You can make those decisions out of fear. You can make them out of lack. You can make them out of misunderstanding yourself, misunderstanding the situation, misunderstanding what God can do for you. Or you can make all your choices with faith, with knowing, with inner knowing, not of what is going to happen in the future. Because all we can do, like I said in the last episode, is dream about what the future could be for us, what the future should be for us. You know what I mean? And then God put his razzle dazzle on it. And he like, nah, I'm going to do one better, right? Because she came in and she showed out. She dreamed. Yes, now I'm going to do her one better. Sprinkle, 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 right? We don't know the future for sure. But what we do know is that when we keep our head on straight, and we know we have an inner knowing that everything is going to be okay. We do. When you are following your own path and you feel literally complete, by yourself. You're happy with yourself. You're making choices that aren't reactive, that are conducive to how you feel about yourself, that are conducive to self-love. And that's why we say all these other things. Health don't matter. This is down third. It's about you only live once and this is down third. That is a whole bunch of bull crap, bruh. You have to make choices for yourself out of love, out of pure, utter love for yourself. It's not being conceited. God lives inside of you. You have to honor yourself, your body, and that this does not just mean modesty. People really take that and they just be like, they use it as a way to shame other people, right? We came into this world naked, y'all. God literally said it in Genesis. Who told you that you were naked? We came into this world naked. That is how God created us. It's really just our mind, our perception of how things should be. Because somebody told us being naked was inhumane. Now we're like, we want to shame somebody for wanting to show a little bit more of their skin. People, you know, it happens. And learning more about the mind and how it works, I see that some people really just do certain things to feel better than other people, when it's not about that. Do those things because they make you feel happy, because they make you feel complete, right? Be happy with yourself. Be happy with your decisions. You have to understand that nobody else can walk this journey with you. Nobody else can walk this life with you. When it is all said and done, you want to have more amazing memories, more amazing stories. You want to have no regrets. No regrets. It is a blessing, an honor, and a privilege to be here. It is. And I've been asking God, I'm like, God, I'm learning all this information. Like, what is the point? I was getting so overwhelmed with the information. I'm like, what is the point? I don't know. And I was learning so much information to the point where it was making me freeze. Like, I don't know what to do next with this information. And he told me tonight that it literally is just to wake up again and feel like a child. Y'all remember when when we were children, and it's like the Christmas tree and everything, it sets the perfect vibe, because y'all remember waking up for Christmas when you were a kid and you were just so happy, bruh. And it wasn't just for Christmas. It wasn't just for Christmas, but that's one of the days of the year where niggas was extra happy to wake up, all right? But every single day as a kid, you're just happy to wake up, happy to go eat your bowl of cereal in front of the TV, happy to go out. Y'all, that's why the inner child healing, all this other woo woo stuff that people say about spirituality, it's not woo woo. God literally said it in the Bible too. He wants you to come to him as a child. He wants you to live this life as a child. He's still your parent. You know what I mean? He still has this on lock with you. It's you and him. Y'all are locked in. So when you wake up with this extra gratitude, like, yes, I'm happy. I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to wake up. You know what I mean? I'm about to tackle the day. You know? Yes, like when we were children, situations, things, and events kind of seemed a lot at the time, because it was our first time experiencing it. But still, as an adult, God still wants us to wake up and be happy, to wake up and be glad, not just to be alive, but to live, not just to go to work and fulfill somebody else's legacy, but to live. What is your soul telling you will make you feel like you're living? Not obligations. Not, I gotta do this to survive. Y'all, that sounds so sad. Like, it was literally about to make me cry just now. That sounds so sad. A lot of people have this mindset, and I'm not gonna lie, it's taken a lot for me to get myself out of this mindset. We are multidimensional beings. A lot of people, whether they believe in past lives or not, a lot of us, you know what I mean, it's not our first time being here. So if you've been on earth, have had many lives or whatever, and in different periods of time, a lot of periods of time, it was very much based off of survival. So you don't just have this life that you have to think about, that may have some things tethered to you that, okay, I may have learned, scarcity mindset from my mom. I may have learned, this is that and third from my family. Some of these things get passed down from past lives, you know, and take that if it resonates. If it doesn't, it's okay. I'm not here to convince. Believe whatever feels good to you. But sometimes it is easier for people to break out of those things, which is why people are becoming millionaires younger and younger and younger and younger, because it literally is just a choice to let go of the things that are no longer serving you. Let go of the lack, let go of the survival, let go of all those things so that God can give you bigger and better. We are so powerful as humans, right? We're created in God's image. So we are given certain powers and certain authorities from God. We are so powerful. Living in those low vibrational frequencies, the scarcity, the lack, the fear, all those things literally put so many limits on yourself and thus put so many limits on God. And I really think that is what he meant by lukewarm. The opposite of love is fear, and you cannot live in love and fear at the same time. It is impossible. You can't. You can't. And if you think that you are, it is delusion. You cannot live in a frequency of love and a frequency of fear at the same time. Love conquers all. Fear does not. Fear does not. So shine your light. Shine your light as bright as possible. If we all shined our light at one time, y'all, the earth, the world would be a different place. Mother Nature would rejoice. God would rejoice. It'd be such a different place if we all shined our light without fear of what's going to happen. If we do, you shining your light does not dim anybody else's. God created us, each of us, especially for a divine purpose, for a divine reason. And his plan was for you to shine your light. His plan is for you to shine your light in every space, in every place. And when you don't, right? This video could be so much more brighter if I remember to plug this thing in, right? But that's what I'm saying. The world could be a lot more brighter if you remember to plug yourself in. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Know that you are protected. Know that you are worthy. Know that however God created you internally is how you are supposed to show up. And it may take some time to remember exactly who you are. It may take some learning because it's a relationship with self, right? Yourself has to feel comfortable. It has to trust you again to like, okay, I'm, y'all know. I feel like y'all know. A relationship. It's a relationship, just like anybody else in the world, with yourself, with God too. For you to be able to show up as your authentic self and be proud of it, not be embarrassed, not a little cringe or whatever. It don't matter. People could get cringe all they want, but a lot of people are living in fear of what other people are thinking about them. And that is a very boring and sad life. You know, I wanted to start this podcast for a long time, but I was scared of what people were going to think about me. They're going to think that I'm a know it all and I just talk all the time and this is down third, and they're going to, it doesn't matter what nobody else thinks. It's about me sharing my voice, sharing my light, what makes me feel good, right? And that's what I'm saying. It's about you. How much longer? I hid my light. Damn near. I shine my light in little spells. You know what I mean? Put a little Instagram video out here, a little Facebook video out here, just to test the waters. Like, let me just see. No. Now it's time. It's time for me to shine my full light. Not just in the house. No, for the world to see. Because I deserve that. I deserve that. Your light deserves to be shared in whatever way you feel it needs to be shared. Whatever way you feel it needs to be shared, guess what? It's God encoded, babe. It's God encoded. So share it and do not be ashamed. Do not let nobody diminish it. And if so, somebody does come with some negativity, you know how you combat that? When you love yourself, you know that people are just speaking out of hurt when they're speaking against you, right? And you got a whole team, regardless of whether you see it or not, who like, yeah, we ready. We ready. Everybody here got a divine mission. You think your spiritual team gonna let somebody come in and and knock you off your pivot? Nah. You know what I mean? It's stuff going on and that they on your behalf that you don't even know about. When you love yourself, you're like, I don't even care. I don't care what nobody say. This is my show. I'm doing this. This is for me. I'm choosing to share my creativity with the world. And that's what all these influencers, all these celebrities, this is why. This is why they were just brave enough to share their light with the world. It didn't matter what nobody else said. It didn't matter what nobody else thought. It was about them being happy, singing, dancing, painting, whatever. Them being happy, spreading whatever it is, their talents that God put on their heart. That's it. That's it. That's what we are here for. And whatever that is to you, it is God encoded. So shine your light. Wear your hair however you want to. Wear your clothes however you want to. It's not about trends. It's about expression. And all of it is right. All of it is right. Do not let nobody put you in a box, not even yourself. Y'all, we didn't breathe today. We just went right into it. I said it wasn't going to be long. It's still a little bit long. It's all right. It's all right. We're doing this. All right. So we're going to take some deep breaths as we close this episode out. I really hope that this encouraged y'all, that it lit a fire in y'all, right? The Christians like to say, put some oil in your lamp, keep it burning. But I'm going to tell y'all, shine your light. It don't have to be a lamp. It could be plugged into the socket. Shoot, it could be battery power. But whatever kind of light you got, let it shine. And don't let nobody dim it. All right? So without further ado, take a deep breath in. Yeah, I'm still kind of stopped up. So please breathe however you feel is necessary. All right? When I'm not stopped up, we're going to do this very formal. But take a deep breath. Take however long you need. To regulate your emotions. To tune in with yourself. Whatever you are feeling right now is more than valid. Honor however you are feeling. But at this moment, pay attention to your breath. Remember to observe your thoughts. Do not absorb them. Your thoughts are not you. They are just a vehicle. They are just meant to pass through. Y'all, I'm so stopped up. I'm gonna really stop it right there for myself because it was a lot for me to keep that going. I don't know if y'all could have heard that, but we're not gonna speak too much into it. All right. If you feel like you need to breathe a little bit more, do not stop on my account. You can pause the video here. You can keep going. Um, you know, if you want me to sit right here with you, I'm here. I'm here, sis. But you know, for all those that are okay with the length of time that we did just take our deep breaths, I just want to say that I'm so glad that we could connect in this space. I'm so glad that you trust me enough to listen to this 30-minute video. Okay. So if you really like the vibes, if you like the aura, shoot, please like, comment, and subscribe. Become a part of the Golden Aura family. I love y'all. And I just wish so much love, peace, and prosperity on y'all. Love y'all. Peace.